Hey, welcome back to Inside the Mind Shift. I'm your host, A.G. McCallum, author of Mind Shift and The Stranger Inside the Walls. In our launch episode, I welcomed you into this series and laid out the themes we'll be exploring together. The fractures in the human mind, the quiet places where fear begins, and the shadows most people never dare to look at. Today, we're stepping directly into one of those darkest corners of my fiction, The Stranger Inside the Walls. It's a story built on perception, fear, and the parts of ourselves we work hardest to overcome. This is the episode where fiction meets psychology and where the walls start to talk back. In The Stranger Inside the Walls, the house isn't just an environment. It's a psychological environment, a living metaphor for the main character's unraveling mind. Every wall becomes a boundary Marley can't cross. Every creak feels like a reminder that something or someone is inside the house with her. Every shadow becomes an intensified moment of doubt and fear. When the house begins to listen, it's not the structure that's changing. It's Marley's perception of what is real and what is imagined. As time passes by in her new home with Andy, that blurred line tightens around her, twisting her sense of safety and identity, leading Marley, anchoring closer to Andy as he becomes her comfort zone. This is where the world starts to turn inward, and this is where her mind becomes the trap. Who is the stranger, you might ask? The stranger in the story is more than just a presence. It's both a symbol and a physical presence, which translates to the part of ourselves we ultimately deny or try to repress. Psychology calls this the shadow self, the hidden identity we don't want to face. In the book, that presence becomes a character. It also becomes a whisper, a creak, a threat, a question, and a person. Is the stranger real? Or is that part of her mind that refuses to stay silent? Fear. Fear as a distortion. Fear doesn't change just how we feel. It changes how we see things. In the story, fear ends up distorting the character's reality, turning her familiar spaces into dangerous ones, turning the silence into suspicion, turning walls into witnesses, turning allies into enemies. Fear is a lens, and once you start looking through it, everything starts to shift. This mirrors real psychological responses, like hypervigilance, distorted perception, and the brain's instinct to fill in the blanks with danger. Now, you may question why this story resonates with some of my readers and myself. Ultimately, people fear what they can't see, and they fear even more what they can't understand. The idea that something may be inside your home, inside your walls, can tap into your primal fear. The fear of losing control over your own environment and your own mental state. This story resonates because it asks a question we all avoid. What parts of yourself have you locked behind walls? And what happens when those walls begin to crack? Thank you for stepping deeper into the mind shift with me. Next episode, we'll explore the psychology of fear, why it protects us, why it can betray us, and why it shapes every horror story that has ever been told. This is A.G. McCallum, and you've been listening to Inside the Mind Shift. Remember, the mind hides more than it actually reveals.